Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode where I will give three personal tips of how I try and manage a night shift before, during, and after. First of all, if you have any comments or any ideas that you do for yourself uh, for and during night shifts, please drop a comment and let me know. Tip number one: get plenty of sleep. I can't stress this more than enough, but basically, having sleep is really, really, really important. Um, just to give you a bit of context, I've been working as a doctor for at least 5 years now, working in small hospitals and big hospitals, ranging between 500 to some at least 1,000 beds as well at times. When I first started working as a doctor in my night shift, I had, I was actually YouTubing tips on how to survive a night shift. So I thought I'd create a video, and hence this. So getting enough sleep is really important because obviously you'll be toiling away for a 12-hour shift for most people. It's important to get sufficient sleep before your night shift. And how I approach this is, number one, making sure you've got good eye shades. Number two, making sure that your phones and other distractions are switched off. Number three, closing the blinds or curtains, whatever you have, to make sure it's an ambient, dark room that you're staying in. And obviously making sure, if you've got noise-free headphones, would be best. Some people find it difficult to switch between daytime and nighttime. For me, I think I'm a bit lucky. Some people, especially myself, after a heavy carb load, I just go into deep sleep very, very easily. So it might be something you'd want to try to see if you can push yourself into sleep. So that's sleep before a shift. How about sleeping during the shift or taking your break? It depends between people. From my point of view, as long as I'm on my toes and I feel like making the right decisions, I prefer not to have actual sleeping breaks, although I do know some colleagues prefer to have these breaks just to give themselves a bit of a rest. Again, it depends person to person, but for me, I prefer just making myself tire out. Obviously, still making the right decision for patient, but yeah, for me to tire out and after the end of 12-hour shift to just have a long sleep afterwards. Try and aim for at least 6 hours after night shift. Tip number two, making sure you're hydrated and eating. Often during these 12-hour shifts, you can, run between different floors, run between cardiac arrest, run between different bleeps. It's so important that you keep yourself hydrated. For me, I keep a flask of water with me wherever I go. I'd advise you to do that as well if you can, and also try and snack in between, especially when you go to a ward where they've got a bit of a kitchen or you see staff having their takeaway. Some of them are very nice, and you could have a bite or two. Yeah, I just finished my nights few days ago, and had Chinese takeaway, so that was rather nice. So number two was eating, making sure you're well hydrated throughout your shift, and obviously making sure you're producing adequate urine output. Number three, last and final one, I think to make sure your night shift is as comfortable as it can be, make sure that your friends with the staff members you'll be working with, I think that's can be emphasized even more. I think people who you work with can either make or break you. Um, Obviously, you want staff and colleagues to be by your side. So yes, although sometimes you may be frustrated by them, I think it's best to be on their side and try not to lose your temper. Yeah, so I think that's it really. So 3 tips. Number 1, making sure you've got enough sleep before and during your shift. Number 2, making sure you're well hydrated throughout your shift. And number 3, making sure you've got good staff and colleagues working after you and look after them as well. Feed and drink them. Ask them how they're doing. I think so far, I've been working at least 5 years as a doctor. I think that served me well. If you've got any further tips, comments as to how you deal with night shift, please drop a comment below. Thank you so much.